Joining me is James Kingsley. He is the Senior Director of Product Development here at ELB Learning. He's been in the e-learning field for over 15 years and has always had a penchant for morphing tools and applications to go beyond their initial capacity, which you will see today as he is introducing the new Studio MicroBuilder. So without further ado, James, I will let you take over. You are on mute.
Well, that will help, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Thank you. Good to meet everybody there. If you're not familiar with me, as she mentioned, I've been in the e-learning business for about 15 years now. Prior to that, I was in the military where I taught instructional design. And a passion of mine has always been programming. So when I got out of the military, I decided to combine those two things. And that was a great time because e-learning was just becoming a big thing. My first tool was Authorware. If any of you used that one before, I still miss it, still love it. And so throughout the years, I've just had some frustrations with tools and just wanted something where I could get in and do what I needed. And the industry has changed a lot as well too. We'll talk about that in just a moment there. I met Andrew, one of the co-founders of eLearning Brothers, about 12 years ago maybe, and we just got along well. And so I've been working with ELB now for about 10 years. From the beginning, I was helping out with some things, and then just a couple of years ago, I came on as full-time to help lead development of some new products that we're rolling out. If you're not familiar with ELB, well, then what are you doing in this conference, right? I'm sure you're familiar with it by now, but they've really grown, and they offer tons of solutions now, tons. But one thing we recognized was a need for a new solution, and that's what I'm going to be presenting on today. So let me share my screen. Let's see. Not the whole screen. I just want to think this is there. All right. So ELB Learning. So if you're not familiar with our offerings, they have this handy matrix, this little dial, if you will, of all the different products and services, solutions that we're offering. This new tool focuses on our authoring tools, but we also are incorporating our gamification and virtual reality and some of our other tools in there as well into the product. And the name of the product is MicroBuilder by ELB Studio. I think I got that right. Or is it the Studio MicroBuilder? Either way, it's MicroBuilder. It's in the ELB Studio. So here's the problem that we were seeing recently. Most tools, they just keep growing and growing, and they have more and more complexity. I tried a new tool just the other day, and for the life of me, it took me like 10 minutes just to figure out how to publish the SCORM and the thing. They have all these features in there that are wonderful if that's the level of learning that you're aiming for. But in a lot of times, you just need to get some training out now. You just need to get something out. And having all those features and trying to dig through menus and tools, it just slows you down from getting to your goal. Another thing that we saw is ELB works with companies all over the world, and we saw language barriers and the delay in resources and expenses that it takes to get your course translated. And then sometimes you end up having 5 different versions of the course for the 5 different languages, or users have to log in this way or that way, and it just the delay in getting it back from your translators. And so we wanted to address that as well. And then there's been a lot of research and surveys lately about us as humans really losing our ability to stay focused on anything. We all have devices. Oh, mine just disappeared into the background. We all have phones and screens in front of us all the time. And surveys have shown, studies have shown that we used to be able to focus on something for 2.5 minutes, but now that's down to 47 seconds. I'm sure all of you have clicked a link somewhere on your phone. It's loading, and then you decide it's not worth it. And then you just go on to something else. It's funny because I watch my wife, we work together remotely, and she will be sitting in front of her laptop answering emails on her phone. And I'm like, you've got the laptop right there, but we just can't hold that attention span anymore. And that's bleeding over into your learners. They not going to pay attention for hours at a time to watch a long course for a lot of content. Some they will, but not a lot of it. And so we need to get in, get out, and make an impact quickly. And time is money as well. All these things that I'm talking about, the delays in translations, the complexity, the attention span, all this stuff, you having to learn, the learner having to learn, the translation, it's all money when it comes down to it in the end. I'm sure a lot of you know Ray. And so he did a study and determined that microlearning, and I'm sure it's not a new term for most of you that are in here, microlearning is can reduce your development costs by 50% and increase the speed of development by 300%. And part of the reason for that is we're not spending a lot of time trying to come up with some complex interaction where you're sorting the files and dragging them to a different file cabinet for each one. The idea is to just tell someone how to do it. Let them go look it up later if they need to. Oh, I forgot how to do it. Let me just go back to the course. They don't want to have to redo a whole interaction to do that. And so this really increases the speed of development and the access for your learners too. So some good candidates for microlearning. If you're not familiar with this, or if you haven't already started doing microlearning, skill reinforcement is a great one, just to remind people, oh, by the way, this is how you process the new customer in the database. Compliance training, those are great because they're short and focused, and you need to meet the legal requirements by making sure you have all the right content in there exactly, and that they've seen all the content. Onboarding, I've seen some interesting onboarding solutions for microlearning where they don't use it so much for the content of here's your HR contact information. You can do that, and a lot of people do, but a lot of times they use the microlearning for just things about culture. Oh, here's something about where we volunteer, or here's something about where we donate money, or this is our favorite coffee shop. That type thing, just to bring it, because we're all working remote, or most of us working remote now. And so that helps with the onboarding process there. Software updates, that's been a problem for us forever in e-learning. As soon as you get the course built, someone makes a change to the software and you have to go redo everything. And so this is a great way to just get out there. By the way, there was a change to the software. Here's the new button in there. Performance support, sales training. I'm not going to go through every one of these things in here. Leadership training is a great one in there too. And, oh, I forgot to bold safety procedures, but that's a great one as well. That's a great one as well. All right, so introducing MicroBuilder by ELB Learning, the ultimate rapid e-learning tool. So our goal was to make something that solved all those issues that we were talking about before. We wanted to be user-friendly. You can get in, create your training, publish it, and get out as quick as possible. Multimedia rich. We want you to, be able to use your images, your videos. We're incorporating our training arcade games and the scenario VR scenarios. That sounds redundant when I say it that way. In scenario VR, that's our virtual reality solution as well. I say virtual reality, but really, I hardly ever put on the glasses with it. It works great just on the desktop, like a 360, but that's not what this session's about. We are incorporating the asset library in there. So we've got, I think it's like 160 million stock photos and stuff, so that you don't have to go, have an account somewhere else and go search through it and everything. You can just grab it right in our tool. We're using AI-powered translations for you. So you can just pick the languages you want, and we translate those. We translate the text, we transcribe the videos. I'm going to show all this in a moment. We transcribe the videos and we translate the voiceover in the video as well, in the transcription. And we're using a unique hosted SCORM solution, and I'll get into that a little bit as we go along. But basically, it means that once you have exported your SCORM package and uploaded it into your LMS, you don't ever need to do that again. You can update your content remotely, and it will automatically update in whichever LMS you put it in, or however many LMSs you put it in. Oh, the AI powered translation. Oh, that was interesting. I don't know if that showed up there. Something just fell off the bookshelf right in front of me. The AI powered translation, we are translating into 71 languages. I don't know which language you might need, but I'm going to guess we got you covered with 71 different languages in there. And as I mentioned, we transcribe and translate the videos as well. Asset library, stock images, and then the closed caption, we provide that in those 71 languages, and then we do the voiceover in 29 different languages for you. And I will demonstrate some of that in a moment as well. All right. So now for a quick demo of the tool. By the way, I'm using AI generated images in here, and I tried to use the weirdest ones possible for it. So this one, for some reason, this laptop is just like levitating off the podium here. I guess it's possible he's holding it with the other hand, but I don't think so. I think that laptop is just levitating in the air there. So let me jump over to a demo. So first, once you're logged into the studio, you'll see all your tools that we have in there, anything that you've subscribed to, and you'll see there's a new MicroBuilder tile in here. I've already launched it. So this is me in now the MicroBuilder studio homepage. And this is the courses that I already have developed in here. At a quick glance, I can see if I've already published a course, if I've made changes that I'm waiting to publish. This one's published. I haven't made any changes. This one, I have a draft that I'm working on, but I have not published it yet. And we have the familiar, trash it, export it, and view it in here. So let me just click on this one. This is one that somebody else at ELB created. Just to show some of the power of the tool here. And so I like this one because it's a real world thing. You might want to make sure that folks at your company are following proper email etiquette when they're emailing customers. And so you can see we provided lots of formatting in here, but not too much. We want to be able to highlight different things that you put in, but not have so much that it looks like a jumbled mess. And I'm in the edit view right now. Let me go back. I'm trying to get rid of this thing here. Oh, there we go. Go back and I'll show you the published view of that same course. And so the published view, you'll note, looks almost exactly like the edit view. That was one of our goals in there. And so we have questions. This one's pretty long. Images of the software, questions that you can add in with feedback. And then if I come back up to the top, you see here, this one, he translated into Spanish. So if I click the Spanish, boom, there's everything in Spanish as well. So let's jump back and we'll look at one that I put together for this demo. So we'll go into the edit mode here. And as I said, this looks pretty much just like what it's going to look like for your learner in there. The difference is I have a panel down the side, which I can close. And when I click into a block, then I start seeing some of the edit information in here. So like if I want to add a page description, I can say welcome to the future. There we go. And then you see I've added video. We've got text with bullet points. One thing I want to mention is if you don't like this color scheme here, well, we got about 12 that you can choose from in here. And it flips it right over real quick for you. And then it locked up when I did that. There we go. We have a default theme as well that we find most people actually like quite well. It just uses a basic black and white with a strong font, and we find that most people like that one. That's our most used theme so far. So we have the themes in there, and I want to show now how easy it is just to insert some text in a block. So let me get down to the bottom here, and I'm going to insert a new heading, and I'm just going to say more text here. And then I'm going to insert a new paragraph and say, this is my text. Now, if you're eagle-eyed, you might have noticed that up the top here, every time I make a change, it updates it for me. It starts saving automatically, and it lets me know, hey, you've got unpublished changes here. So it's keeping me up to date on that. And if I decide, you know, I don't like any of this work I've been doing on there, I have an option just to delete this whole draft, everything I've changed since the last time I published in there. I'm not going to do that just yet. And then, like I said, the themes, questions, yes. So we have your basic question types in here, and you have an option whether or not to include them in a quiz. So I can just click in here and make changes right here in the question if I wanted to. I could also say, I don't like that one at all. I want to add another one. Monkeys are fast. There we go. Maybe I decide, you know what, I only have one correct answer here. I probably want both these to be correct. I can just easily switch that to become a multiple select question and say, both those are correct. And it kept all the responses for me. I didn't have to delete the question and recreate it, etc. Speaking of deleting, it's pretty easy to do. You can see when I'm over a block. Let me pick one I'm willing to delete here. How about this one? When I'm clicked into a block, then I have this option to delete it there. You also have options to move blocks up or down. So if I put that at the bottom, and then later I realize, oh, I need it up the top, I can do that. That would be a hassle every time. So you have the option when you're clicked in one of these, you have the option just to add a block right between two existing blocks in there as well. You can see these are our current block types we have. We have a rich list of new block types that we have planned, but we want to hear from our users what types of blocks you would want to have in there as well. So let's show real quick just how we would insert an image. So of course I have the option to insert it from files that I have on my desktop. I can also, my camera's busy right now, so I'm not going to click the button, but I can also click the camera button and just take a photo, hold something up in front of my camera. This is actually pretty cool when you're using this out in the field on your phone and you're like at the warehouse and you see a spill on the floor, grab a photo of it right there, drop it in the course. And then, as I mentioned, we have our asset library built in. So in this case, I could say, well, I'm doing a course on MicroLearning. So let's see what MicroLearning images we have in the asset library. Ah, here we go. This one's good. So I click that and it drops it right into my course for me right there. Then we also have our integration with TGA. So if you have a training arcade or the training, yeah, TTA, sorry. Yeah, we have an integration there. That's another tool that we have within the studio. And I can show you how that works, how simple that is. You don't have to go there and export and import and everything. Let me just come down the bottom here. I'm going to insert a game. And so these are the games that I've already created over in my TTA account. And so it's so easy. I don't have to come back and forth to do that. By the way, this is their new noodle game, which is really pretty fun. And it was very easy to build as well. It's pretty fun. So now I got sound playing. Stop. Actually, I'll just delete the block. There we go. And if you've built arcades in the training arcade, you can insert those in here as well. We can insert, as I mentioned, scenario VR. You just publish your scenario VR and copy and paste the URL here, and we'll put it right inside your MicroLearning module that's in here. Of course, Google signed me out in the middle of this, so I'm trying to get signed back in so I don't lose all my stuff. All right. The quiz results. So as I mentioned, we have the quizzes up here, and you have the option whether or not you want to include this question in the quiz. And if you have at least one question that you've checked, including quiz, then we automatically add a results block in there that shows the results of the quiz. And you, of course, can edit this. Instead of saying you did not meet the pass score requirements, I could say, wow, you did not meet the passing score requirements. And then if I want to edit the past, I can come here and say, hooray, you passed. And I can move that up. Nice thing too is these questions don't need to be grouped in a row. You can put content in between them. You can put non-scored questions in between scored questions. You can also set the number of attempts that are on there to let the learner retry when they get done with all the questions. Then they can hit the retry button if they didn't meet the passing score. And I wanted to mention that for both the games and the scenario VR blocks that you enter in there, we are converting all their content into SCORM compliant content as well. So when the learner is playing the game and it's generating messages that says, you know, they answered this part of the game correctly, or they made it to level 5 correctly, or if they're in the scenario VR and scenario VR says, oh, they visited scene 3, or they, you know, clicked on the temple and the palace, then we convert all those to SCORM statements and we send those to your LMS as well, so that you get data on all that stuff. We'll have XAPI very soon. We already have XAPI support. We just need to add the button so that you can export it in there. So we'll have that very soon in there as well. With XAPI, you get a wealth of information coming out of there too. Now, translations. So I've already, because this is my demo one, I've already translated to a couple of different languages here. Now, because we have been editing, making changes in here to things, then it's letting me know on the side panel, oh, the Spanish needs to be updated, the Norwegian needs to be updated, all these need to be updated because you made changes. So I'm just going to hit translate now. And we're going to use some AI. We're going to send that off to our server, use a little AI to translate that. And then it'll come right back in here and I can see those changes on there. So if I come and I say, well, let's see what this looks like in Welsh. Well, there we go. I guess MicroBuilder is the same in Welsh. Whew, I chose a hard one. Welsh is hard. But I did that one because I want to see what I sound like in Welsh. So I have the subtitle set to Welsh right now. Or I'm sorry, the language set to Welsh. I'm going to set the subtitles to Spanish. I don't know if sound is going to come across over this. So I don't know if the sound's coming across, but if not, that's me speaking Welsh, and I have subtitles in Spanish in there as well. And I'll show you how quickly it can do this too. Let's just create a new one. And add translation. Grab some content here as well. I have this case study stuff. I meant to put that in the other thing. So I'm going to grab this. And one thing we tried to do too was keep formatting. This has links on it, etc. And so when I come over and insert that, it's going to keep those links for me. It's going to keep that formatting. It'll follow my theme as I go along. So now that I have those in there, let's just grab a language. I'm going to say translate this page. And let's do, oh, I don't know, Afghanese and Farsi. So it's telling me this, waiting for me to publish it. If I'm impatient, I can just say, just translate it right now. I'm really impatient to see what that's going to look like. And so now if I come up, there it is in Afghanese. See how fast that was? Not too shabby. If you have a long video, it's going to take a little bit longer because, as I said, we have to transcribe that video and then translate the transcriptions and then create the new voiceover in there. But it's still wicked fast. Anybody say wicked anymore? Or is it just me? Still wicked fast, and the text is almost instant from there. And then I wanted to say, we are giving everyone 1 million characters free of translation. That's a lot. That's like a good sized book. I'm trying to remember. I was going to say it's like Mice and Men, but that book's kind of depressing. What's that one? F. Scott Fitzgerald, Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby. By the way, I used AI to help me figure out what books are about 1 million characters long. So The Great Gatsby, you can translate that for free when you join this. So let me publish something. I'll just publish this one since I'm in here. Oh, there's a preview, so I can preview the changes. But as I said, it looks pretty much just like what I have over here. The advantage of previewing it there is if you have scored questions in there, you might want to go through and see what happens if I fail, what happens if I pass, that type thing. But really, almost everything's exactly the same here. So let's go ahead and publish this one real quick. And we can see it's going to pop up a message here reminding me that because MicroBuilder is using this hosted SCORM solution, that I don't really need to re-upload or re-export a SCORM package again later on. And I'll try to explain that a little more. I think I'm keep mumbling over my words when I do that. So there our publish is complete. We get a little pop-up. We could download the SCORM package from right here. But I'm just going to go back over to my home page. So there is my new course. I can see it's published. I can download my SCORM package from right here. There it went. Boom. So let me jump over to my thing here because I want to talk about the SCORM hosting solution that we have. So essentially what we're doing is the SCORM package that you download is quite small. It's basically just a wrapper around the course. And the MicroLearning module is still hosted on our server, and it's pulled from our server down into your LMS and then presented to the learner. The cool thing about that is if I decide, oh my gosh, I've made a horrible mistake on this thing, I need to come back in here. This was demo content. I don't want that in there. All I need to do is hit republish here. I don't need to download a new scoring package and upload it to my LMS. Once it's republished here, it's going out to every place where I've distributed that scoring package. Woohoo! So I saw a little chatter about questions in there. That's where I was coming up next. So again, another AI generated image here, and you see I chose this one because I can't figure out what's going on with this dude's fingers here. AI has a hard time with fingers. So do we have any questions?
Oh, we have questions.
Okay.
All right, let's go through them. Can you add your own branded colors and fonts instead of using the templates that are included?
That's been like one of the #1 requests that we've got. And so we're going to get that implemented very soon. Very soon.
All right, so coming soon, Natalie. What type of quiz questions are available? Can you do more than just multiple choice?
So there are 3 types available right now. There's the multiple, let me get rid of this. Multiple choice, multiple select, and short answer. So short answer is fill in the blank type question. Multiple choice is only one correct, and then multiple select, yeah, multiple correct. And
All right, thank you.
I'd love to hear what other question types folks would like to have. Keep in mind, we're trying to keep it streamlined, and so we don't want to overcomplicate, but yeah.
I think they were hoping for matching sorting answer questions.
Okay. Yeah.
So that you can put that on the maybe list.
Okay.
All right, so is there anything that assists with identifying royalty-free content for reuse, or are libraries entirely self-directed? I think that was about the asset library.
The question is the asset library royalty-free?
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Because that is our asset library,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's ours. Yeah.
If
you can sign up for it with a separate subscription, or you can use MicroBuilder for free.
Can you hide some content until the learner completes an activity and then have the next content be revealed?
Not yet. Not yet. That's maybe like the 5th requested feature that I've gotten. We just rolled this out like 2 weeks ago, so I'm so excited to hear all these
brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a branching scenario block so that you could create mini simulations?
No, there is not. No, there's
not. All right, gotta keep it streamlined, remember. The translation, is that coming from Google Translate, or are we using a separate translator on the back end? Can we reveal that information?
Yeah, it's not Google Translate. It is an AI service. It's a very popular AI service. And I'll mention right away, it might not be 100% accurate, but also it comes included in there, and that's one of those trade-offs. You could spend a month going back and forth with native speakers in another country and stuff, or you can publish it in 5 seconds and get it to be 99% accurate.
All right, what about accessibility? Is this content Section 508 compliant?
It is very accessible. Part of the reason why is because the end result is basically just a web page with text mostly, and then we've run tests on it for compatibility, and yeah, it's very, very accessible.
The caveat would be if you're putting in a game or a scenario VR module, those might not be accessible.
Right. Yeah, and we do have, when you insert images, you can add your caption there so that you get the alt text for it as well.
All right. With the content hosting, is there a way to track versions as you're making changes and they're being automatically published?
Not currently. One thing I would like to do is have the ability to publish one version to one place, another version to another place. And so we want to build, I want to build, I don't get in trouble here, a lot around that. So we can set limits like the number of views that's possible, or it can only be viewed from these IP addresses, or it can, so I plan to build a lot around that so that you have a lot of granular control of the hosted SCORM package.
Okay, and then we have a couple more questions about publishing. Can you own, because it's SCORM, can you only publish to LMS, or would you be able to publish something that you could put on your company intranet?
I haven't tested it, but you know what? I don't, there's some security built around it, because obviously we don't want it just to get out into the wild. We don't want your content to get out into the wild. But from a technical standpoint of view, I think it wouldn't be that hard to put it on the internet. We do have in the works an option for a public share link, or just a straight HTML5 download for it as well. But right now, from a technical point of view, I'm going to say no because I'm not 100% sure. Sorry.
And then I think kind of related to that, does the export button in your landing page create a PDF of the course, or is it exporting the SCORM file?
It's exporting the SCORM file, but you know what? You just got me wondering.
You've all inspired me.
I probably shouldn't try anything new.
Live in the recording. Yeah. I'll be cutting this out of the recording if it doesn't work.
Yeah. So yeah, that looks very nice actually. So I just in my browser, you know, hit Control P, said save as PDF. But we could do the PDF as an option. You just lose, like you're not going to be able to put questions, you know, in a PDF type thing.
Yeah, the questions, the games, any scenario VR stuff that wouldn't really translate in the PDF.
Yeah.
All right, one more question. Can you write your own CSS to create your own templates?
That's starting to get a bit advanced there, but as I said, one of our #1 requests is to choose the colors and the fonts to create your own theme. Another thing I didn't show in there is we do have an ability now. You can build out like a skeleton MicroLearning module with just a few. Am I sharing my screen still?
Yeah.
Just a few, you know, like, oh, I'm always going to have a title, and then I'm going to have a question, and then you can build that out and then make it your default template so that every time you create a new module, you'll start with that template. And so we will do the theme the same so that you'll have a default theme that's added to your thing. I'd be curious, whoever that was, contact us. I'll be curious what you want to change in the CSS.
All right, Cynthia, tell all of your hopes and dreams to James. And maybe he'll make them come true. Maybe not. No promises.
You can find me at LinkedIn or through ELB.
All right, I think I've answered all the questions. If anyone has any more questions, this is your chance. Type really fast and we'll get to them.
Yeah, I think I was talking really fast today.
Well, it's always better to end early than run over. The next presenter wouldn't appreciate you very much if you took too long.
I just looked up and saw somebody made a comment about so many teeth, and now I'm wondering what.
Oh, I think that was one of the AI people, the person in the questions slide.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that was one of the AI generated people. It was about that.
Yes, currently it is limited to a single page, but you're predicting the future.
All right. You all have given me so many ideas for this.
Yes.
And as James said, this is available in the studio right now, the beta version. So if you're a current studio subscriber, you should see it there. You should be able to play around with it. Check it out. And in the future, it will be available to everyone, but I make no promises about timelines here. Thank you, James, for joining us and showing that to us today. I think everyone. Oh, all right. One last question. We'll take one last question. Are there any plans for adding iframes?
Yeah, like an embedded. Yes, yes, there are. Yes, there are. Again, I'd be curious what they want to iframe in there. I'm so excited. This is such a wonderful time to be at the beginning of this and hear from people and hear what they want in there. Very exciting.
Hence why we're still in beta, says Kristen, because
Yes.
there are so many more ideas and things that we want to add.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us, James.
All right.
This was
Bye.
fantastic.